Welcome to church. My name is Pastor Jody, and as you can already tell, we are having a VBS closing production. And so I'm so glad that you are here. It's going to be a very exciting, wonderful time. We have had a VBS, Vacation Bible School, at this church for the past 5 days. And we've had over 73 children were registered, and they didn't all come every single day, but it felt like there were 173 children here. It was busy and it was wonderful, and I'm just so really grateful for what happened this past week, and I'm really grateful that we get to share that with you, the church family, during this service. I have a few things by way of announcement. First of all, we are going to have, if I'd like to invite the children. They're already at the front. They know what's coming. And so if you want to come, if you're a kid, you want to come down to the front, that's great. Mom and Dad, you need to know that today's service, as all our services are live streamed. And so if you would rather not have your child on our YouTube channel, you can just keep them with you, and that's just great. About halfway through our service, we're actually going to say goodbye to our online community so that we can show some videos and have some testimonies. But until then, we will be live streaming. So Mom and Dad, I just wanted you to be aware of that. I also wanted to say a couple of things. This Wednesday at 1:30, we're going to be having our memorial service for Greg Nickel, and you're welcome to attend and support Tracy and her family in that way. As you can see, a few things need to happen between now and then. So, if you are able to lend a hand right after the service, we'd really appreciate this locomotive. It chugged down the sidewalk from Norm's garage last Sunday. We got to return it there. I think I've heard some rumors about the parade, the fair parade coming up this July, and having an entry in it, a float, and maybe having this locomotive in that. So we would like to return it to Norm's garage for safekeeping until then. So if you could lend a hand, just taking down a few things, mostly the train and the ticket booth, we'd really appreciate a few extra hands. Speaking of cleanup, we've been partnering and coming alongside the Salvation Army for almost a year now. And we've been doing a cleanup campaign where we've been collecting hygiene items and household cleaning products. We're going to switch it up for May and June. The most urgent need at the Salvation Army right now is 3 things. So pasta and sauce, and just the straight up pasta, macaroni, spaghetti, these kinds of things, not Kraft Dinner. But that's pasta is one, breakfast cereal is another, and canned meat and vegetables. And so we're going to be we're going to have tubs back out by next Sunday. We'll have our totes ready to receive those. The way our church helps hungry people in this community is we partner with the Salvation Army. And so I just wanted to put that out there, that as you're shopping, if you want to throw a couple of extra boxes of spaghetti and jars of sauce in your cart to bring them here, that would be really, really meaningful. In just a minute or two, I'm going to hand it over to our VBS crew. We're gonna get the VBS train rolling, but let me begin by praying. So Jesus, I want to thank you very much for what we have learned this past week about trusting you. And I'm so grateful that we get an opportunity to share that with our entire church family. Lord, this is tithes and offerings at work. When we give to your church, things like VBS happen. And so help us to always know that our financial gifts, yes, they make us look like you. They form us into being generous people, but it also results in ministry things like VBS. So I pray that you would bless this week's tithes and offerings, May they go a long way to building your kingdom. And I pray this in your name. Amen. Why don't you stand and just say hi to everyone around you, and then in just about 30 seconds, you can go ahead and sit down again.
Such a success. It was a great week. We had so much fun, and I think we should get the day rolling by singing our theme song. So can I get all the kids in the entire church to come up on stage and dance with me? And if you don't know the actions, we can watch them.
We trust in you, Jesus. You're all that we need. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. You give us hope and life that's forever. You make us bold and we stand together. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. We're off on this journey, there's no looking back. With Jesus to lead us, we're on the right track. Oh, 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 oh. Wide open spaces for wide open eyes. We're looking ahead for the next big surprise. Oh, 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 oh. We trust in you, Jesus. You're all that we need. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. You give us hope and life that's forever. You make us bold and we stand together. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. We're off on this journey, there's no looking back. With Jesus to lead us, we're on the right track. Oh, 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 oh. Wide open spaces for wide open eyes. We're looking ahead for the next big surprise. Oh, 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 oh. We trust in you, Jesus. You're all that we need. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. You give us hope and life that's forever. We stand together. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. Trusting in you, your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you, trusting in you, trusting in you, we're trusting in you, trusting in you.
I'll go sit down back in the front row.
It's okay. All right. Good morning, church family. Good morning, kids. So good to see you here. Can I hear a big good morning from you?
Good morning!
I don't think your parents heard you or they know how loud it's going to get in here. Let's hear it one more time. Whoa. It's starting to feel like home again, Allie.
I thought you were going home, Cam. What happened? Why are you back here at Rocky Mountain?
Well, I learned so much from my new friends, all these kids. It's awesome to be back with them. I love hanging out with them. But you know what? I kind of learned this new song. I was driving my train the other day, and as I was thinking about all the things we've been learning at VBS, I kind of came up with a good chant. And it kind of goes like this, but I'm going to need your kids' help. Are you ready? It goes like this. Trust or Jesus' power, okay? I need you to help me, okay? At the church, you can help us too. So let's go. Jesus' power, Jesus' power, Jesus' power, Jesus' power, Jesus' power. Whoa, trust Jesus. What do you think of that, Allie?
That must have been quite the train ride back for the rest of your crew.
Oh, let me tell you, they loved it. I sang it the whole time, and they were like, Cam, we love it. No, they didn't actually. But you know what? It kind of, it's only been a couple days. Like Saturday's a long time from Friday to now, and so, I'm getting a little bit forgetful in my old age, or at least that's what my wife told me last year on our anniversary when I forgot. So I could use a little bit of help. Could you help us a little bit?
Yeah, you came to the right place. I have an idea. I'll give you cargo from each day to remind you of all the things we learned about, and then you can tell all of your railway crew about this week.
Oh, that sounds like a good idea. Do you think we could get some help from? Yeah, perfect. Let's do this. Did she say escargot or cargo? I kind of missed that. Raw snails. Oh, yeah, cargo, not escargot. Okay. Well, that looks pretty heavy, but I'm pretty big and tough, so I got this. Let me help you out with that, Allie.
I think you got this.
Whoa! Holy mo... Allie! What are you trying to do? Kill me here?
Well, not really, but it's a great reminder of our first Bible point. Every time when I say our Bible point of the week, all the kids learned to say, trust Jesus. So, perfect. So, our first Bible point this week was Jesus' power helps us do hard things. Trust Jesus!
Oh, this is starting to sound very familiar.
So, since I think we should sing a new song, do you guys remember Everywhere I Go? Yeah? Okay, everybody come up on stage.
There's a spirit I cannot contain. There's a spirit I cannot contain. The same power that raised Jesus up from the grave. The same spirit I cannot contain. Everywhere I go on this road, high and low, where I go with you. So I won't be afraid, this my hope. What may, where I go with you. Where I go with you. Where I go with you. Breath upon these bones, your fire in my soul. Your kingdom is my home, and I don't walk alone. Everywhere I go on this road, high and low, where I go with you. So I won't be afraid, this my hope, come what may, where I go with you. So I
Okay, Allie, so now that it gets squished under this heavy box, I'm pretty sure I'm going to remember all of that. Plus, I don't have to do hard things on my own, right?
Nope, and it brings us to our second Bible point. I'll be right back. I have just the thing.
Oh, no, I don't know about this. Another heavy box. I better do some stretches. Oh, better get ready for this one. Oh. Come on.
Ta-da!
A garbage bag? Allie, did we learn about taking out the trash at VBS? I don't remember this.
It's not garbage. Open the bag up.
I'm going to need some help. Do you think I need a volunteer. Michaela, do you want to come help us? All right. So, let's come up here. All right. You want to help me open it? Whoa! Thanks. Thank you. You can sit down. So, Allie, what you're saying is Jesus' power gives us balloons, right?
Not quite. But the helium inside the balloons reminds me of hope. And without hope, life can be kind of sad and flat. So, when the balloons are filled with all the helium, it helps us remember that Jesus' power gives us hope.
But all the balloons are way up there. I don't really understand how that's going to help us. How do I get my balloons on my train? That's not going to help.
Don't lose hope. I have another bag back there for you. Why don't you load it onto your train? We even have a song to help us remind you that you're not alone. God's with you. So everybody, come back up.
God of heaven and earth, you are amazing. You hold me up with your hand, you give me faith, and I will put my hope in you alone, in you alone. God of heaven and earth, you are amazing. You hold me up with your hand, you give me faith, and I will put my hope in you alone, in you alone.
I will put my hope in you, Lord. You
All right, Allie. So heavy stuff can remind us that Jesus' power can help us do hard things.
Trust Jesus!
And the floaty balloons remind us that Jesus' power gives us hope.
Trust Jesus!
I'm afraid to ask this next question, but what else do you have for me? Should I be worried, Allie?
Not at all. It's right here.
Oh, it's the most bright neon-colored cargo I've ever seen. It's going to blend in really well with the rest of my cargo. Maybe kind of not really.
Well, that's the idea. It's bold. On day 3, we learned that Jesus' power helps us be bold.
Well, I sure like driving my big, bold train and blowing the big whistle, but sometimes I struggle being bold and brave by myself. I could use a bit of Jesus' power to help me be bold. You know, that'd be a good thing.
Yeah, it can be hard to do what's right or talk about Jesus or even pray at school. It takes courage and boldness. This cargo box will stand out and remind you that Jesus gives you the power and courage. With Jesus' power, we can be as bold as lions. Can everyone come up and sing another song?
Today we live, today we breathe, today we know that we are strong when we are weak. Today we trust, we overcome, take every chain that kept us slaves and throw them off. We're not waiting for permission, we defy our inhibition, like our middle name is fearless, son of red.
Thanks, kids. You guys are helping me be bold. Do you know what, Allie? I think I know what's going to be next. I know what's coming.
I think you're getting great at being bold, Cam.
The most unforgettable thing that I learned at Rocky Mountain Railway this week was about Jesus and how he helps us and gives us life forever. What do you guys think about that? Forever.
Yep, Jesus' love and power is mind-blowing. It's never-ending.
But what cargo do you have to remind me about this lesson?
I have just the thing.
Okay, I'm going to be bold. It's going to be awesome. It's not going to be heavy. It's going to be great. It's going to be amazing. I know it's going to be awesome. I know. Oh, it's a hula hoop?
Well, it's a circle. Can you tell me the end of where this circle is?
Definitely. It starts right.
Well, it doesn't really have a beginning or an end. It's like Jesus' love. And with Jesus' power lets us live forever.
Trust Jesus!
And that's because he loves us enough to die for us. Isn't that right, Allie?
That's right. Because of his sacrifice Jesus made on that rugged cross, we can have a forever friendship with him. So we're going to sing another song. Everybody come back up on stage.
On a hill far away stood an old rugged cross, the emblem of suffering and shame. And I love that old cross where the dearest and best for a world of lost sinners was slain. So I'll cherish the old rugged cross till my trophies at last I lay down. And I will cling to the old rugged cross and exchange it someday for a crown. On a hill far away stood an old rugged cross, the emblem of suffering and shame. And I love that old cross where the dearest and best for a world of lost sinners was slain. So I'll cherish the old rugged cross till my trophies at last I lay down. And I will cling to the old rugged cross and exchange it someday for a crown. And I will cling to the old rugged cross and exchange it someday for a crown.
Maybe don't touch. All right. Allie, do you know what? I still think there's a little bit room left on my train. Do you think you could give us one more reminder about Jesus' love for
Well,
us?
I hope you have a lot of room left because on day 5, we learned that Jesus' power helps us be good friends.
Good friends, right? Okay, I remember this. I had trouble with this at the earlier lesson. You're not joking or kidding, are you?
Do you have room for all these kids to help you tell about VBS?
Of course I do.
Well, of course, they can't stay forever. Their families would probably miss them a whole lot.
Yeah, they probably would. We can't keep them forever, but I wish I could. Do you know what? I'm going to get them to come up and help us with one last song. But do you know what? First off, I want to give them all some big high fives because do you know what? They've been really good friends to me this week, and I've kind of done some embarrassing, silly things up here. And do you know what? They haven't laughed at me, well, just maybe a little bit. I think they're all my friends. So I just want to say good job and thanks for helping us out this week. Thanks for being my friends, everybody. High fives. Really appreciate being with me. Good job, everybody.
We had an awesome week this week at Rocky Railway, and Cam's train is all loaded up. So I think we should wrap up with a song about a train we all want to be on. So everybody come back up.
This train is bound for glory. This train is bound for glory. This train is bound for glory. Jesus made a place in heaven for me. This train is bound for glory. 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 Jesus made a place in heaven for me. This train is bound for glory. This train.
Okay, now let's bring it down.
This train is bound for glory. This train is bound for glory. This train is bound for glory. Jesus made a place in heaven for me. This train is bound for glory. This train. Oh, this train is bound for glory. This train is bound for glory. This train is bound for glory. Jesus made a place in heaven for me. This train is bound for glory. This train. This train. This train.
So, this week we talked a lot about God sightings. Do you guys remember what a God sighting is? Well, God sighting is basically giving God credit for all the things that He made. No one else could have the power to make that. So, we talked a lot about God sightings, and I thought it would be cool if we kind of went around the church and see if anyone else had a God sighting this week. So, if anybody had a God sighting, put your hand up and Alex will come over to you and we can hear about it.
On Monday night, I prayed to God that Lachlan would be in the same group as me.
And did he go to the same group as you? He did!
My God sighting is people.
The people, that's a pretty good one. Can we have one more? Is any adults back here have a God sighting?
is trains.
Trains? Let's have one more. Are there any God sightings?
We were gone for a dance competition, and someone was incredibly nervous to get on stage. So we were bold, and in the whole group of all those dancers, her and I sat and prayed about it, and she got up there and rocked it.
So this week, since we talked about God sightings so much, we got a poster up, and all of the train tracks on there represented everyone's God sightings for the whole week. So Alex, you can put enough train tracks on for all the God sightings we just talked about.
All right, just as we kind of partially wrap things up, the main service here is going to keep going for a little bit, but we just wanted to let everybody know that it's on the live stream. We're going to be ending and wrapping it up for you. So just want to thank you for being a part of this and getting a taste of VBS this week. So goodbye to everybody on the live stream. Everybody that's still in the main service, I think we're going to keep rolling. And Karen, I think we're going to get you to come up and get you a mic from Allie. And I personally just want to say thanks to everybody that was an organizer this week at VBS from myself personally. When you're in the thick of it, you kind of see what goes into it. So from myself to the organizers and everybody that volunteered, I want to say thank you and a round of applause.
You guys can sit back down, okay? Can you sit down for now?
During Vacation Bible School, the kids went